Hello, this is a tutorial for the outfit transition that I made for one of my VTuber clients. I do apologize, my nose is still a little stuffed, so bear with me here. So here we have two different skirts from our upcoming skirt rigging lesson. Rabbit drew these and they look amazing. I'm super excited for that lesson, so keep an eye out for that. But we're going to use these two skirts to show you how to do the transition. This method works with the 5.0 SDK, so the one that currently works with VTube Studio, so you don't need the newest version of Live2D to make this work. The only thing that you need is a mask. So here is the star mask that I used for Aria's model. And the only important thing you need for this mask is to make sure that the opacity at the edges kind of fade out. And that's because this mask is going to be moving across our art layers, and we want it to transition nicely, not have a harsh line. So I also have another mask here. This is one that I used a long time ago. It's the same thing. You can see the opacity around the sides here is kind of fading out. So it's going to have a nice fade as it moves across our art layers there. So this is a mask that's just one layer. And then obviously my star layer mask, I have stars and then the mask itself. And that's just because I wanted the stars to kind of move separately from the space background. And then I wanted both stars to also kind of have a parallaxed effect. So I'll show you how to do it for both. We'll start with just the singular mask first. That'll make it easier to understand. So it's actually a really simple transition. All it really is one parameter that moves the masks across the layers and switches the opacity of both layers. So let's make a new parameter. We'll call it outfit change. The ranges don't matter, 0 to 1 is okay. So let's create the parameter. So the first thing we're going to do is make these skirts swap on our parameter. And typically you would add 2 key points like so, and then just have one skirt be at 0 opacity on one value and the other be at 0 opacity on the other. But in this case, because our mask is going to be moving across our art layers, we don't want the transition to happen until our mask is covering, right? Until our mask is on top of our parts. So in this case, we're actually going to double click in and add 2 key points around the center of our parameter so that the swap happens closer to the center. So we'll press OK. And so we'll start with the frill skirt first. Our first 2 parameters here, we'll drop the opacity to 0. So you'll see here now that it's going to stay 0, and then around the middle, it'll swap on. And then for our jean skirt, we'll do the opposite. So our N2 parameters, we'll have them go to 0. And so now our parameter during the entire motion here only has them swap at the center. We'll do the single mask first. And so we'll just add our 2 key points onto the mask. We'll lower it all the way down here. And then at the end keyframe, we'll move it above our skirts like so. So now you can see our mask moves up and across. And from here, it's super simple. Let's just grab the ID of all the parts we want to clip to. For this skirt, we just want to clip to the mask. We don't want to clip to the shapes outside of our jean skirt here. So let's Control C, or you can right click and copy. And then we're going to paste that ID into our mask. So it's going to disappear because again, it's only going to show when it's on top of the area of our skirts. So let's move our parameter and see what happens. And there we go. We have our nice transition moving our mask up. And we can do the same thing with our star mask here. Let's just resize it a bit so that it fits over top of our skirts a little bit better. Now for this one, it's a little different because we have our stars. So let's just do our mask first. We'll add our 2 keyframes. We'll move our mask down, and then up here, we'll move our mask up. And then once again, we'll clip everything to our mask. And so now we see our mask going up and our skirt changing as it moves across. Now for our stars, we're also going to clip these both down to our skirt parts. So our stars aren't going to be moving with our mask. They're just going to be slightly moving, but we also need to make sure that they change in opacity. So first what we'll do is we'll add our 2 key points to each so we can do our motion first. So on our beginning parameter, I'll drag both of them a little bit down, and then our ending parameter, I'll move them a tiny bit up, and I'll move one of them to move a little bit faster than the other, so that there's a little bit of difference between the 2 stars as they move. Perfect. And now we just have to fix the opacity of them because they're still on right now as they're showing on top of the skirt. So all we're going to do is grab both stars, and I'll add 2 key points at 0.1 and 0.9, and then we can turn the opacity down on these at the edges so that they're not on when the toggle is finished. And just like that, we have our star animation or transition, and then it turns off. And there you go. That is how I did the transition before the new Live2D changes in 5.3. This one works with 5.0. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope that made a lot of sense for you. I would love to see the transitions that you make for your guys' model. So definitely feel free to share, feel free to at me, whatever you guys want to do. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next lesson. And remember, become the main character.